Hey Cancer, welcome to LettiSpeaks. Thank you for stopping by. If you are returning, hey, how are you tonight? So glad to see you again. If you're new, hi, my name is Letty. I want to invite you, if you feel led, to like, share, comment, and if you feel led, to subscribe. If you subscribe, make sure you hit the bell so you'll be notified when new content is posted or when I go live, okay? Cancer, we're going to take a look tonight at the energies that you are dealing with right now, from past, present, future challenges, and the outcome of any situation, okay? One of the things I want to let you know is don't feel pressured to make it fit. If it doesn't, just leave it. There will be more videos coming up. There has been other videos that I've posted already. You're more than welcome to go take a look at those. And if you're looking for something a little bit more personable, that's okay too. I can do that. All you would have to do is go down to my description box and hit my link and schedule a personal reading with me. Let's jump in and take a look at what's happening for you, Cancer. I almost said Scorpio, but this is for Cancer. All right, so what's happening for Cancer, Spirit? Okay, let's go ahead and all right, one more for you, Cancer. That's too many. I said one more. One more for Cancer, Spirit. Spirit is throwing a lot of stuff out here. You could be dealing with a lot right now, Cancer. People could be throwing a lot on your plate for you to deal with. Okay. All right, and so in the past, we have the Page of Swords. So this feels like a message coming in. There could have been a message that you received, some type of message, and this message could have come from many different sources. It could have come from someone specifically. It also could have been like a message that you received through technology, or it could be a letter that you received. It feels like some kind of message that came through. But I don't know if this message was distorted or it was intercepted and changed. It almost feels like the message may not have been received the way that it was intended. In the present, we have the Seven. What is this? The Seven of Pentacles. So there's some type of challenge even in the present. I feel like there's something that's hard to deal with. Like right now could be a difficult space in time for you. In the future, I have the Nine of Wands, which may be, it feels like having to hold out and hold on, until change comes, having to really be strong and fortify what it is that you're doing or what you're waiting for, or what needs to be supported. It feels like that. Now in the challenge we have the moon. And so with the moon, this is not having possible clarity, full clarity on something, or possibly reaching to get that clarity, looking for answers where there's not a lot of clarity, seeking answers. With the Empress in the outcome, this feels like something coming to fruition. Possibly some creativity, a birth of some kind, a birthing of something. And so we're definitely going to dive in and take a look at these energies and get some more clarity around what's happening for you, Cancer, okay? I am definitely going to do that. And so let's do that so we can get this message on the road for you, Cancer, okay? All right, I am back, Cancer. I almost called you Scorpio again. You could be dealing with, possibly maybe dealing with a Scorpio, or maybe this message has something to do with, maybe you have Scorpio placements as well, if it's not dealing directly with the Scorpio. And so we have, in the past, the Page of Swords, which felt a little bit like, you know, messaging coming through, possibly being intercepted and tampered with, messages around something in particular. It was clarified by the Knight of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. So this feels like possibly having to deal with this in a certain type of way. I get the energy of aggression, receiving these messages or having these messages come in aggressively, and also trying to maintain a level of optimism around it. But I feel like the messages could have been around work, building something. It could have been around the type of work and building something, or possibly, you know, the type of work that someone is supposed to be doing, possibly, Cancer. However that resonates, that's kind of what it feels like, messaging coming in around doing something, or even it could even be around collaboration as well. Now in the present, it feels like a challenging energy that would be somewhat an energy that's hard to navigate, right? This type of energy would be something that would possibly be like discouraging energy. Seven of Wands is coming through. It's clarified by the King of Wands and the Eight of Cups, right? This is definitely energy that you could be trying to move away from. This could be someone, especially with the King of Wands here. This could be like a fire sign. Could also be a water sign. But it almost feels like possibly having some level of vision, or possibly even watching something or someone and maybe not feeling, it almost feels like discouraged thoughts around this person, around being in this particular situation or predicament. It just doesn't feel like encouraged energy. So whatever that is, I feel like right now could be a very difficult time that you are wanting to move away from. Or for some of you, there's something that you're watching, you're wanting to move towards it. Whatever this you're wanting to move towards could possibly be something to expand your experience. And it could be a person, right? Could be a fire sign. And I don't know. It almost feels like not really seeing how you could do this, right? Not having confidence around this. Feeling a little bit isolated in your mind around this is what it feels like. Now, in the future, we have the 9 of Wands. And it almost feels like holding up something, right? Holding up something, or possibly waiting. It was clarified by the 5 of Inspiration and the 6 of Pentacles. This feels like navigating through a difficult time, but maintaining, right? Holding up in difficult times, or when in times where things aren't really stable or sure, but kind of going through the motion, even though it may not be something that is what you intend for that time. The 9 of Wands is like still there, holding it up, you know, waiting for more lucrative times, waiting for times, for this particular time to pass, you know, so something better can come along. And so the future could point to a season of really having to be strong and, you know, just kind of carry through, knowing that not, you know, it's not going to last always. It's going to pass, you know. And I feel like this could be very well something significant. It feels like there's something divine about this particular time, this season. There could be actually something that you will be planting during this time, or something you'll be gaining out of this. There's some level of reciprocation that's going to come out of this in the future. And so it almost feels like you may perceive it, Cancer, as something difficult, or maybe even something unstable, but there's actually going to be some level of reciprocation coming to you. There's something divine about this, right? Having to sit here in this space and wait and hold something up. There's something divine about that. And at the end of this waiting time, there's going to be something that you receive through this. Now, the difficulty in this time is the moon, right? And the moon brings in this very elusive energy where you're not sure, like, what is real, what's not. It's almost like dreamy energy. You could be seeing things and experiencing things in your dreams that are showing you, right? And you're trying to possibly decipher between, you know, what's real and what's not, what's really, you know, possibly pointing you towards something and what's not. I feel like with the Wheel of Fortune and the 4 of Wands, the dreams could definitely be spirit speaking to you and showing you things that are to come, or showing you that you are actually in the right space, right? But it's hard to see that in reality, possibly. It's hard to see what would actually, be good, the good that would come from this. You could also see the ending of this, the good coming from it in the dream, like the celebration at some point, the support, this level of community gathering around you to celebrate. It could be something like that. But the challenge here could be that maybe you're looking for that in real time, right? If you're seeing these things in your dreams, all of this encouragement, all of this celebration, you being on top of things, but then it's something different being reflected in reality, I could see how that could be challenging. And so I feel like the challenge is finding the clarity in reality, right? And then, sometimes when we're waiting for, different seasons to be over and for better seasons to come in, it could even be hard to move away from that dreamlike energy. Because if we're not feeling that in real life, we tend to want to gravitate towards the part where we can feel that. And it could be in that dreamlike state, just imagining things. And so the challenge could also be that there's a high level of imagination happening right now within you. And the danger in that is it could very easily turn into that elusive energy, and so that could be the challenge. Now, when it's all said and done in the outcome, I do have the Empress here, which is beautiful energy. Of course, we know that the Empress is definitely someone who brings this very nurturing energy. She's abundant, creative. Everywhere that she goes, she brings this level of creativity. And so I feel like for the outcome, because this is clarified by the star and the Knight of Wands, I feel like that is going to be the outcome. That's where you are being led eventually. Now, if you are the Empress, this is where these experiences are leading you to. It's leading you to this level of healing, this knowledge that's going to bring this in. Any insecurities is being wiped out, so that you can exist in this energy. For some of you, this could represent an energy you're being led to. The star talks about being led to a place of peace and of healing. The Knight of Inspiration is talking about being encouraged to move towards something. So for some of you, I very well feel like this could be being led towards someone. And so that's what I'm getting for you, Cancer. It does feel a little weighty for me. It feels a little weighty, this process that you're currently in, but that's what it is. It's a process. And I feel like the reward, it's almost like understanding the value of going through the journey, not necessarily ending up at the end, the finish line. It's about what you've learned along the way, the valuable lessons, the milestones that you were able to accomplish and celebrate along the way. Yes, the end, the finish line is part of that celebration and the victory, but it's also some of the important milestones, some of the important humps, that you overcame on the way, some of the experiences that you were able to put underneath your belt. And so that's what I'm getting for you, Cancer. When it's all said and done, I feel like you end up with this beautiful energy of the sun, right? This energy where there's no more hidden things, no more darkness, no more of the elusive energy of being under the moon, but everything is open and bright and blossoming. And so let's see what other messages Spirit have for you, Cancer. No more doubting, right? When we end up in this outcome, it's almost being in a place where you can just truly rest, is what I'm hearing. All right, any other messages for Cancer here, Spirit? Any other messages for Cancer? Any other messages for Cancer here, Spirit? Any other messages for Cancer? All right. So first of all, we have illusion. And then we have waterproof. And then we have mimicry for you, Cancer. Okay, so starting off with waterproof. Waterproof is talking about this sense of resiliency. That no matter what you're going through right now, as you look at the bird having this very resilient coat of feathers, right? There's some type of chemical that is coating the feather so that when the water meets the feather, it doesn't saturate the feather. It actually runs down off of the feather, right? It's waterproof. And so during times of storm, the bird is actually protected because of the coat that's on its feathers, right? And all of the water that would actually soak and, cause it to be weightier, right, just kind of casually runs off. I feel like the water in this case are things that could bring you to aggression, emotionalism, things that would be like insults or snarky comments, or even emotional vampires wanting to come in and just really pull you down, right? That type of stuff doesn't bother someone who's waterproof. It just kind of runs off of your back. And even things like being dragged into other people's emotional drama, right? That stuff can leave you feeling heavy and like waterlogged, right? But because you are waterproof, like you can sit and you can be a good listener. You can be a shoulder to cry on and not absorb the emotions from that sit down session. which leaves you free to support other people in need and not be absorbed into those situations. And so Spirit is saying, continue creating that barrier that puts that wall, that barrier between the feelings of others and yourself, right? When your inner strength is needed. And so, yeah, continue protecting yourself. And you could definitely be someone who does that kind of work, that avails themselves to people in that way. And for mimicry, I don't think I've had this one before. For mimicry, this shows a crow calling out in a branch, and it's drawn the attention of one of my favorite kind of dogs, a German Shepherd. So beautiful. And the crow is calling out in a way that is human-like. It's so human-like that it actually convinces the dog that it's somebody human. Like, it's convincing the dog that it's actually possibly the dog's owner calling out. You see the dog's ears peaked up. It's a sign of recognition. Like, is somebody calling me? Is my owner calling me? Right? The bird has convinced the dog. Now, there are birds that have been domesticated, and some of them are crows, but most domesticated birds are things like parrots. But birds like crows also have that ability to mimic sounds, like voices or sirens. And so this, I feel like, is asking you to consider, like, if someone is actually pretending to be something that they're not, right? I feel like this could possibly be part of that past energy of messages coming in, but those messages possibly were tampered or intercepted, or it could have been someone sending a message pretending to be someone that they're not, right? And so this card is making you aware and making you question possibly someone putting on. And it could be that you could benefit from a little mimicry, right? Sometimes we need to really fake it till we make it, right? And project a persona that's really not our own, just to kind of get into places where we're trying to be, right? But this is also letting you know to be cautious too, Cancer, because the truth always comes out. It always comes out. And there may be a need, if that happens, for you to prove your authenticity. So again, excuse me, I feel like in this case, this is really, excuse me, talking about someone. So this could be about voice, someone speaking. Those messages coming through could be about someone speaking, pretending to be someone else. So I don't know if someone's sending messages to you, but they're not the person who they're pretending to be. You know, like, for example, say someone calls and they're like, yeah, this is your cousin, you know, from Timbuktu, I don't know, but it's not really your cousin. It's someone else pretending to be your cousin. Anyway, that's so weird. Something about the voice. So this could also mean that someone is trying to sound or pass themselves off as someone else other than who they are to get your favor, your attention. And so the question is, like, whoever this is that may be coming to mind right now, are they showing you their authentic self, or are they pretending to be something that they feel like you would find more attractive? It feels a little bit like that. And then we have illusion, which came out with the moon. That was one of the energies that came out with the moon. And so this asks you, you know, about situations that you may have been absolutely positively 100% certain about, only to find that the opposite is true, right? I feel like more than not, illusions surface to help us uncover if we're clinging to a certain narrative that suits how we feel about someone or a situation, rather than accepting what really is. Yeah, it's almost like creating scenarios in our mind when actually it's not anything like that scenario we've created. And so we go through all of these different phases, you know, through that situation we've created when it wasn't even real. Like, say if someone calls you and then you didn't answer, so you call them back and they don't answer, and you call them back again and they don't answer, and so you start to assume that they're avoiding you, and you create this big scenario of how they're avoiding you and they don't want to tell you something, and you know, you begin to get upset and angry, and you know, and then you go back to realize that they sent you a text message and says, I'm going to be, you know, out in nature for a couple of days, so my phone's going to be off. I just wanted to touch bases with you before I go out. So you've done all this without, you know, really realizing, no, they're not avoiding you, right? They're just out in nature, and they sent you a text, but you were so busy creating this scenario in your head that you didn't even look at the text after they called, right? So that's just an example, something like that. That's an illusion. And it allows us to operate on false assumptions. Or it allows us to continue operating in a sense of denial. Maybe we don't want to accept something about the reality of a situation, but this could be just asking you to be open to, like, see things for what they are, and ask yourself, and this could be concerning something here, is it something that we've concocted and just ran away with the story mentally, or do we have concrete physical proof and evidence that what we're believing is real? And that could have a lot to do with that moon energy in the challenge position. Yeah. And so yeah, that's what I'm getting for you, Cancer. Thank you so much. So there's a lot to think about here, a lot to look at. If you need to, go back and rewatch it. I feel like there were little nuggets here and there. And so overall, though, I feel like this is about possible work. It's about collaborations. It's about, you know, ending in a place with the Empress here that feels like home, that feels good, right? A place that you've created, or ending up with a particular person too. But it's about work, though. I feel like it's about collaboration. I don't necessarily get love, right? This is about creating something and being led. I feel like spirit is very much involved here as well. And so I hope that made sense. This one was a difficult one. It was a little heavy, right? And so, but yet there's still a lot of good things here, okay? And so that is for you, my Cancer friends. If it resonated, please let me know. If you're new, feel free to subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know how it resonated. If it did not, there are other readings that I've done in the recent past. There'll be more to come as well. And so no need to worry if it does not resonate. If you're looking for something a little bit more personable, you can definitely schedule with me as well. Down in my description box is a link to my calendar, and you can schedule with me and get a personal reading if that's what you're looking for. Okay, Cancers? Thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. Hit the bell if you do, so you're notified when new content is posted or if I go live, okay? Thank you, Cancer, for stopping by. I appreciate you. Until next time, it's been LettiSpeaks. Bye.